Well, welcome, everybody, to another edition of Lewis at Large. Yours truly, Warner Lewis from the flight deck. And, of course, that means some smart talk radio is in your future. And, of course, this segment, certainly no exception. We're going to be talking about Sweet Mary Jane. You bet, in the news a lot, and why not for this show? We're going to be talking to Karin Lazarus. She is the author of Sweet Mary Jane, 75 delicious, cannabis-infused, high-end desserts, and why not? You know what? We're going to let Karin kind of talk a little bit about herself here, so let's get started. You're the founder of Sweet Mary Jane and the author of this brand new work. Karin, what got you into marijuana, my friend?
Well, I have always had a passion for baking, and I started reading about the health benefits of cannabis. And I decided after I won a recipe contest that I would combine the two and open a marijuana bakery here in Colorado because it was legal. And I just thought, you know what, I'd rather start a cannabis bakery than a regular bakery. I thought there'd be more success with that. There are plenty of regular bakeries. So I just decided to take that leap and go for it.
So this is a full-blown bakery at the retail level, but also enhanced, obviously, by the book.
Well, it's a bakery in Colorado. Your bakery is a wholesale bakery. We are allowed to make all of our infused products there, but then we have to wholesale them to dispensaries.
I see.
Which then can sell to the patients.
Are you a longtime Colorado resident?
Yes, I've been here since '93.
Since you've been there for 2.5 decades or so, what's been the difference since it has become legalized, so to speak? What do you see? Does the sun still shine there? Everything still operate pretty normally?
Everything is great here. I mean, I see that this has been a very positive thing for Colorado. I mean, certainly marijuana pulls in a lot of tax dollars. That money goes to schools. It goes to repairing, the roads. Yeah, marijuana has done good things for our state.
What about? And again, you sell only to retailers or to other outlets in Colorado, or do you sell across the country?
No, we are only allowed to sell in the state of Colorado. That's where the license is good for. Only here.
And again, I want to make sure, is this done, it's not necessarily done under the guise of medical marijuana, it's just simply as an ingredient in recipes, correct?
The book?
Yeah, the book.
The book is just marijuana because here there are grows that grow medical marijuana and grows that produce recreational marijuana. My bakery is a medical bakery, so everything I put in there is grown for medical purposes.
Well, let's talk about Sweet Mary Jane, the new work that's out. First of all, how long did it take you to put together, and tell us the kind of research you did.
Well, it took me a little over a year to put it together. I was written up in New York Magazine. Agent in New York saw the article, called me and asked me if I wanted to do a cookbook. Random House has been wonderful. They, decided to go for it, and they published it. The research was baking recipe. I mean, I took a lot of the recipes. I took almost all of the recipes from the bakery and just lowered the doses for the book, the doses of THC. And the rest of the recipes for the book were just writing them, testing them, and then having recipe testers come in and test them, and then infusing them and doing the whole process over again, because everything was first tested uninfused with no cannabis in it.
Karin, many people know what grass smells like. Tell us, can you taste it in any of these recipes? Does it add something to the taste?
It does. I mean, cannabis is a very, very strong flavor. And what, I work on is trying my best to mask that flavor in some way. One of the things that's helped a lot is infusing the sugar. And there's a recipe for that in the book. That lowers that cannabis flavor and color so your products look prettier, taste a little bit less like cannabis, but you can't get that flavor can't just disappear.
What about, let's talk about, and I want to come back to the book, but let's just talk about marijuana in general, the acceptance, not only just at the general public level, but now obviously at the legislative level. This thing is really, really gaining steam, and it seems like one state after another is joining a long list of those that are legalizing.
Absolutely. I mean, we have 23 legal states now, and, 4 of them are even, recreational use. So yes, this is big. And just yesterday, the House of Representatives voted to, keep the federal interference, including the DEA, out of states where cannabis is legal.
What has been the reaction so far, jumping back to the book, from the bookstores and from the general public? What are you hearing?
I'm sorry, can you ask me that again?
Sure. I'm just curious as to what the reaction you're getting so far from the bookstores and various online sellers and also the general public to Sweet Mary Jane.
Oh, people are calling me all the time and just thanking me for it, and the dispensaries that we sell our products to are ordering the book to sell out of their stores. It's been very positive.
And again, what about also, and again, we're not trying to turn this into a big political discussion, but I'm curious as to what the medical community, are they starting to see and be reinforced that marijuana does in fact bring something very, very important to the medical table?
Oh, definitely. I mean, just in Florida last week, or maybe the week before, I can't remember now, I was in Florida for a conference, and there were many doctors there speaking, and Colorado held a Doctors for MMJ conference here. Yeah, there are plenty of doctors on board. There are doctors here that people to go to for their prescriptions so they can buy medical marijuana. And we get calls all the time from people who are using our products just thanking us for the relief they're finding.
Well, let's dive into the book here a little bit and talk about, let's sort of take it by big segments. Share one if you would. It's divided up into lots of different categories, but under brownies and bars, those are nice and easy to hold in your hand. Tell us something, one of your favorites from there.
My favorite from there is the Walnut Fantasy, and that was our very first brownie. That is a dark chocolate base, and then it's got caramelized walnuts on top. It's very flavorful. It's one of those brownies that is easy to make gluten-free. It just lends itself to a lot of different ways of baking it. You can use different nuts on top, and it's delightful. It's a recipe I made for years before I ever had this bakery, and yeah, it's we put that on the menu in 2010, and it's still a top seller.
Also included are some ice cream and sorbet recipes. What about that sounds good.
Those are great, and those are very easy to make, and that's where you're going to be using your infused sugar. The thing that's so wonderful about sugar is you get to make things like ice cream, because when making ice creams, you can't use butter or coconut oil. So you're going to be using, your infused sugars there, and they're delicious, and the flavor of cannabis is very light in those.
I have not had time to look at it thoroughly, but tell us a little bit about Magic Moment sauce.
You probably remember soft serve ice creams where you go into a shop and then they dip it into that chocolate and it kind of hardens on there.
Yep.
You know that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so it's like that, and it's delicious on ice cream. It's delicious just to spoon out of the jar.
Why not? What about, Karin, I'm curious, again, for those that do not live in Colorado or some of the other states where marijuana is legal, what about, can you find any of these dishes or dishes like them in restaurants yet?
No, that's not legal here. You can only find these things in dispensaries. We do not have any restaurants or cafes where you can go and sit down and order a marijuana product.
Is marijuana in Colorado available out? It has to be specifically a licensed retailer of some kind or an outlet of some kind. You cannot buy it at a regular retail location. Is that correct?
That's correct. It's a licensed dispensary. And anyone who's in the marijuana industry has to hold a special license that is where you go down to the Marijuana Enforcement Division and apply for this license, and it's a very extensive process.
You know, with this book, you're not breaking a lot of new ground here, but I am curious, are you getting any resistance anymore in this day and age from any sectors? And if so, which sectors would be giving you any kind of issues with this?
Well, I mean, even here in Colorado, there are people who are against marijuana. I mean, it happens, you know, where people say that, you know, it's this terrible drug and it does bad things. It's a gateway drug. So sure, we hear that. But if you don't like marijuana, we're not telling you you should do it. You don't have to use it.
If you don't like it, don't do it.
Don't use it.
You got it. What about, it begs the question, now that you've done one on desserts, what's next for Karin Lazarus? You sound like you're pretty busy with marijuana, so what's next?
Well, you know, we have toyed with the idea in the bakery of putting out some savory products. But I have noticed in the past other companies doing that, and right now they don't seem to be big sellers. But, you know, maybe it's what's being sold. I don't know. I mean, I haven't researched that quite enough yet, but it is something that I do think about. Maybe making some savory sauces or salsas, something like that.
Or how about some meatloaf? That would be,
We're not allowed to sell anything meat.
Oh, okay. All right. What about...
but meatloaf sounds awesome.
Yeah, it does sound pretty good and not bad. What about... I'm curious also as to the audience and who buys this book. And the reason why I'm asking that is it would seem to me that it would be a full age range. Millennials, baby boomers, everybody would have an interest in this book versus one particular age.
Oh, I think that's absolutely true. I mean, that's, you know, the edibles, you know, cross, you know, every age barrier. They people 21 and over, everybody buys edibles. And like I said before, people in their 80s are using them. So, yeah, this book is for everybody.
Do you find, do you enjoy being an author, or would you rather be part of the bakery more? Tell us what it feels like to be an author now.
Well, you know, I never, ever thought I'd be an author. I love writing recipes. That's something that is easy for me. I have a knack for it. It doesn't trouble me. But writing a book was a whole different thing. I really love baking. So, yeah, I mean, that's something that I will never give up. If I had the opportunity to do another book, sure. I mean, now that I realize what I have to do to get a book done, I can do it. You know, at first I thought, oh, my God, can I do this? But, yeah, I can. I did.
What's the reaction been so far from your family and your close friends? I'm sure very supportive, but tell us about that.
Oh, so supportive, yeah. All of them have ordered books. It's funny because, you know, not all my friends live here in Colorado. I'm originally from New York. So my friends, you know, outside of Colorado have bought the book. They send it to me, ask me to sign it for them and send it back. So that's just been so sweet, and I really appreciate that.
Well, the work is called Sweet Mary Jane, 75 delicious cannabis-infused high-end desserts. Karin Lazarus is the author. It is published by Avery. Karin, how can people find out more about the work and the baking and the ideas that you have, as well as order a copy of the book?
They can order the book on Amazon. They can find us at I Love SMJ, so that's I Love S for Sweet, M for Mary, J for Jane.com. And they can see us on Facebook, Sweet Mary Jane.
Well, best of luck with the bakery, best of luck with the book, and thanks so much for spending time with us today. I know you're very, very busy, and we do appreciate it.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. I appreciate that.
You bet. We'll be back with more right after this on Lewis at Large.